In this video, you are going to learn 11 tips to improve the quality assurance of your call center. These tips range from quality teams with little money to invest to those that can invest a lot. The first tip is to create a form that uses items by concept. Most of the items on your form have responses like yes or no, correct or incorrect. Try swipe the items to very good, good, regular, or bad, or other answers that have various ways of evaluating the agent. But why? In that way, you will be able to separate exactly the very good agents and the good ones from the fair and the bad one. This will already be a big step for you to do improvement projects for the fair and bad, and professional growth projects for the good and very good agents. Our second tip is to use different forms for different customer service channels and operations. It's very important to customize the forms following the service channel. The items of a phone form in many cases do not fit in the items of a chat form and vice versa. For example, items like voice tone, do the agents convey confidence in what they say? Did they leave the phone call on mute without notifying the customer? These are items of a phone call form. On the other hand, in the chat form, of course, it have to be different. Like, is the conversation objective? Did the agent use words that don't show confidence? Example, I think, probably, etc. And finally, did they leave the customers waiting more than X minutes without returning the contact? By separating the forms, you will be able to find opportunities for improvement and the positive side of each customer service channel. Our third tip is to use that tool that lets you know everything the agent did during the service. Many things happen to the agents beyond what is said or written in a customer contact, particularly in operations that the agents are working from home. For example, they can register in the system incorrectly, search on the knowledge base for information incorrectly, access non-work sites, use the cell phone during the service, and also do non-service tasks. All of this, of course, impacts the way the agent works, causing a lack of attention and, as a consequence, a drop in the quality of attention. There are several ways to prevent this from happening, and one of them is screen recording, available on Safe Quality, our quality assurance software, by the way. With this feature, you will know exactly what the agent was doing when, for example, they asked the customer for a moment, when wrong information was passed, when they demonstrated inattention to care, and even when there is some suspicion of fraud. This is a great feature for the quality team to have a nearly 360-degree view of the service being evaluated. Our fourth tip is to stop evaluating by sample. Make many good and bad things bypass the eyes of the quality team. In general, call centers evaluate up to 1% of contacts. Even in a scenario considered small, with 10,000 calls per month, their numbers are impressive. With around 500 contacts evaluated, we are missing 9,500 calls. Can you imagine how many problems could have occurred in these other contacts? Therefore, the quality team must have technology that helps to optimize the searches of these calls and offer the monitors, especially the important contacts, to evaluate. Get started with a voice or text analysis tool to find out which calls were problematic or what opportunities existed. Leave the effort of the monitors to the contacts that really matter. In addition to helping the quality team, this tool will also automatically identify complaint signals, suspicion of fraud, classification of reasons for contact, quiet time versus talk time, voice speed, satisfaction, possible mood swings, and even more assertive sales scripts. Our tip number 5 is to apply coaching on evaluations only with bad scores. Do you apply feedback in 100% of the evaluations? If the answer is no, focus on that first. Use a system that optimizes feedback to the point where it applies to 100% of evaluations. Now, in case you already do this, my advice is apply feedback electronically to agents with good scores and give feedback in person or by video calls with low scores. Focus in coaching and learning efforts on those agents who really need it. If you already use CULTIVATE, by the way, we have a feedback flow that automates all of this. You will set up a minimum score, and the agents that were above the minimum will receive a feedback electronically, and the agents below the score will receive a feedback from the supervisor. Easy like this. Our tip number 6 is to allow contestation. If your goal is to improve the quality of your call center, one of the main pillars is that the agent understands that they are the most important point in this process. Therefore, at the time of feedback, I suggest you allow the contestation. In this way, you will know which agents are most interested in getting a good score, and in addition, you will create a culture of interaction between agents and monitors. Once the contestation is made, it's extremely critical to measure disagreements that are valid versus unfounded. Valid ones are those in which the answer was accepted by the quality team, resulting in a change in the evaluation score to a higher one, of course. The unfounded are those in which the answer was denied by the quality team without modification on the final evaluation score. Tip number 7 is to study frequently the items with the higher number of faults in your operation. First, you must have an easily accessible report where you can extract the items with the highest number of failures, such as the fault report found in CULTIVATE. With it, in a few clicks, you will know exactly the items where your agents fail the most. In addition, you will be able to do a Pareto analysis, also known as the 80-20 rule, where you basically have to focus your training and coaching efforts on the items that represented 80% of the total failures. Tip number 8 is to train only the agents who need it, that is, the agents who failed the most on the key points of your form. Many companies apply training to all agents, and this is very demotivating for good agents. Imagine that they train you for something that you already know how to do. Boring, right? Because of that, along with the report that will show the number of failures, you need to know exactly which agents fail the most within each item. This way, we can define specific training to help those agents who are having the highest impact on our operation. Tip number 9 is to create a culture of learning. We know that developing organizational cultures is very difficult, but if there is no well-defined training and coaching process, the quality team will only measure the quality of customer service and will not actually improve the quality. To create a culture of learning, there are several ways. For example, do coaching on feedback, make frequent training for agents with many failures, and even fixation exercises. In order to achieve this, we have created a new function called Knowledge Game for CULTIVATE. It works in a simple way. You will create questions within your form items. As you evaluate, the questions will automatically be sent to the agents. The difference with this feature is that it will only trigger questions for items the agent failed on, and not all questions, creating a very strong culture of learning and fixation. Tip number 10 is to compare your NPS to the quality index. The NPS is a satisfaction survey that's carried out with customers who speak with your contact center. What happens a lot are high quality index from the quality team perspective and low NPS from customers. This can happen for several reasons. For example, lack of independence of agents to solve problems, lack of training for agents, and even a quality team evaluating in a simple way and taking it easy. The fact is that having an NPS that does not follow the quality index is a bad thing, and should be studied more calmly to understand the real reason why this is happening. Tip number 11. Cultivate the professional growth of the agents. One of the ways to improve the quality of our call center is to keep agents motivated. To accomplish this feat, you need to work with some more complex strategies, such as set short, medium, and long-term goals, create growth schedules, and reward agents who achieve defined goals. Here goes some ideas. The first one is by opening supervisor, quality monitor, and other job vacancies, agents with the best quality index in recent months will have the opportunity to compete. Second one is reward agents who maintained 100% quality index in this month. And finally, create a ranking of agents by quality index and make a gamification to promote a healthy dispute about the quality of the service. To conclude, there are several techniques mentioned in this context that require you to quickly access your team information. So if you are not already using a quality assurance software, request our CF Quality. It has even a free plan. You can check the link in the description. Improving the quality of a call center is not such an easy task, since it involves many people to change the mentality. Many of these techniques require an effort to implement, so strive to create a culture in your call center that in the newer future you'll be rewarded for your efforts. Thanks for watching this video and subscribing our channel. Bye bye.